reading from the Gospel according to Luke. When some were speaking about the temple, how it was adorned with beautiful stones and gifts dedicated to God, he said, "As for these things that you see, the days will come when not one stone will be left upon another. All will be thrown down." They asked him, "Teacher, when will this be? And what will be the sign that this is about to take place?" And he said, "Beware that you are not led astray, for many will come in my name and say, 'I am he,' and 'the time is near.' Do not go after them. When you hear of wars and insurrections, do not be terrified, for these things must take place first, but the end will not follow immediately." The word of the Lord. It's probably perfectly good and right human nature for us to want some sense of when the end is coming so that we can adequately prepare. You see, as Jesus time and time again refers to people who are busily storing up their treasures on earth, building up great silos to store their human wealth, while, your very night will be asked of you tonight, and you built all this up for naught because you don't know the day or the time of the coming of the Lord. But it's natural for us to want to, so we can adequately plan. And so when Jesus comes and he looks at the earthly things that we've built, and he points out to us what we know, which is this is all impermanent. Nothing that we build right now will last forever. All of these things that we make are but for a time, and we naturally want to try to make the best decisions as we can, and so we want to prepare by having some sense of a guarantee of when will the end come. It's in the midst of trying to balance those things that Jesus approaches us in our very humanness and says, "I want you to try to prepare as if this day could be your last day. I want you to be ready right now. And yet, I also want you to be aware that the end is probably not tomorrow. The end is not tomorrow. You need to have a long view for the world that you are building." It's not quite a cognitive dissonance, but something that Jesus is asking us to balance. If you hear the passages that he's saying, Jesus is asking us to balance not living so much right now in the present that we forget that everything that we are building up on this earth is temporary and finite, and yet to not be so worried about the end times coming tomorrow that we forget to be the people that we're called to be in the world around us. We need to hold those in balance. So I think about my own life, where I can't live every single day feeling like it might be my last. That would be too much pressure to try to make the most of every moment, say the right thing to everyone at every time, knowing that it might be the last moment I get to see them. Even while I know that's true. But I need to go about living my life as if there will be a tomorrow. I need to try to hold this in balance. So I need to have a perspective on being kind, on being just, on being loving, but on being human, and knowing that I have to attend to things today, planning on there being a tomorrow, even while I realize that nothing is guaranteed. It leads me in this moment to try to be mindful at any given time of how can I be kind? How can I be just? How can I be forgiving? How can I be forgiving of myself as much as anything? So that at the end of the day, at the end of all days, whenever that comes, I'll be able to look to the Lord and say, I did what I thought was best in the moment. I did what I could do. I tried to reasonably balance living with a long view and living with a short-term view of the person that I'm being called to be, knowing that I won't have always gotten it perfect, but at the end of the day, I will have done what I could. I hope that's what we can pray for all of us. Thanks be to God. Amen.